Temperatures are rising for the season, and the Department of Environment is on the lookout for signs of coral bleaching.
Cayman 27's Joe Avery was on the water with the DOE this morning. He joins us now with more. Joe?
Thanks, guys. The DOE has been actively monitoring Cayman's coral reefs since 1997. And today, a small team of DOE staffers, volunteers, and visiting scientist Tammi Warrender made tracks to some spectacular dive sites on the North Wall to see how Cayman's corals are doing. Now, while our water temperatures have yet to reach that critical threshold that triggers coral bleaching, it's getting closer and closer. The prediction from NOAA's Coral Reef Watch calls for a 60% probability of bleaching over the next 4 months in the Caribbean, and the Cayman Islands are already under a bleaching watch.
Basically, if you see a coral, it has any abnormalities at all, you can take a photo of it, write down the number on the sheet.
Visiting scientist Tammi Warrender briefs a team of DOE staff and volunteers before the first Coral Watch survey dive of the season.
The temperatures are starting to get a little bit hot around Cayman, about 29 degrees. We've just went out to see if we can detect any preliminary changes in the coral's health.
Ms. Warrender noted several unhealthy corals, including this colony at about 90 feet deep on Andy's Wall.
There's been some detections of disease, there's some pale corals, some partly bleached corals, but none of the pure white bleached corals that you would normally see when temperatures get too hot.
But Ms. Warrender says temperatures are likely to increase through late September and into October, when coral bleaching first appeared last year.
This is just the very beginning, and we're expecting it to get a little bit worse, but whether the coral bleaches or not, it just depends on how warm the temperature is and for how long.
Ms. Warrender says the Cayman Coral Watch program is calling on assistance from citizen scientists to gather coral bleaching data for the DOE.
When we have like a map of the dive sites that have been reported to DOE, we can then pinpoint areas that haven't been surveyed. So it's basically just trying to cover as much as the island as possible.
Now, all you need to do to help out with the DOE's Coral Watch program is download one of these spreadsheets right here from the group's Facebook page. Of course, I'll have that on the internet for you. Ms. Warrender says you don't need an underwater clipboard to help out. She says if you see a bleached or unhealthy coral, just take a pic of it and include your dive watch in the shot so you can record the depth and temperature to enter later into the spreadsheet. All that relevant info, hyperlinks, etc., that'll be on Cayman27.ky. In the studio, Joe Avery, Cayman 27.